Hey, Redheads and everyone else listening. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Adrienne, and today's episode's so cool because we're talking about traveling, we're talking about great skin, and our guest today is Alison Mcnamara, who is a TV host and founder of the skincare line Mara. And we're really excited to have her on because it's kind of everything that we love. Stephanie and I, we love traveling. We love good skin.
Especially
and
oils.
Red hair, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Stephanie and I have traveled so much together. We backpacked through Europe actually 10 years ago. This past summer. It was 10 years ago. We backpacked through Europe. Where did we go? We went so many places.
We did 8 countries in 5.5 weeks.
We did Ireland, Germany, Croatia, Italy,
Greece,
France,
Belgium,
Netherlands,
Amsterdam. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that must have been it. That was like our trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it took a long time, and we loved every moment of it. And I can't remember if back then we were so big on skincare as we are now. I feel
no, and
we literally only had a backpack,
and you used all of my products. Do you remember that?
That's typical of us.
I
Stephanie's
remember
always prepared.
So I was 18, Adrienne was 20, and I got really into mineral foundation. I don't know if that was when it started coming out. Bare Minerals was big then. I remember. So I packed their little travel size with their little brush. I'll never forget it. It was like the half.
do remember.
It was like the size of my pinky.
Yeah.
And I packed so well for this trip because we only had backpacks. Well, Adrienne didn't bring anything, you remember? And you asked to borrow all my stuff.
Actually, what you really got mad at me about was when I asked in Germany to borrow your mascara.
Yeah. I remember it was the Clinique hypoallergenic mascara in their travel size. And you didn't bring anything.
I know. I was probably, I don't know what I was thinking.
But you know, 10 years ago, travel section, we just went to Target and like CVS. And now you can go into Sephora and Ulta and they literally have aisles just for travel size.
And times have changed so much. Like back then, we did not even have an iPhone 10 years ago. We did everything via map.
We had maps the Wi-Fi cafes.
Yeah. I can't believe it. And then literally, like, I think we got back from Europe and you and I both got like the first iPhone. It was just coming out or something.
Yeah, it had just came out.
It was just coming out and we're like, wow. And a couple months ago, we could have really used that.
We had to ask a lot of people where to go, which I think it taught us a lot of survival skills with the map. Now I know how to read a map.
Yeah. I feel like we learned a lot of cool things. We drank a lot of water, which was great for our skin. And I feel like we always packed sunscreen. That's one thing that we both were on the same page with because it was really hot. It was
and sunless tanner. Do you remember Italy?
Okay. No. I just want to make a point that Stephanie and I were on a budget because our parents did not want us to take this trip, but we
took it anyway.
We were going to take it. And a lot of this money that we had saved was going to go towards our next semester in college. So we had to be really good with money. So we had €50 to spend a day. And the first time we get to Germany, we had €50. Stephanie spent it at the cheese shop.
I didn't.
You got cheese and honey, and it was gone. And that's all we could eat for the rest of the night.
No, that's not what happened. What happened was I read the sign wrong, and then when I went up to the cash register, naive Stephanie at 18, never been out of the country, I didn't know what the euro symbol was. So I went up and I should have just said, no, I don't want this and put it back. I would have done that now.
Yeah, you totally would.
But back then I was a little bit more of a pushover and the woman goes, €40 or something. And then I came outside and Adrienne's outside. She's like, what'd you get? Literally this huge loaf of bread with honey. She ripped us off.
And cheese.
Yeah, so this ties into, so then we went to Italy and we were in northern Italy.
And I loved Instant Tanner then. I still love it now, but I really loved it then.
You needed it. Because we were going to France, to the south of France.
I needed it. And I felt like a part of me was missing because I didn't have it on. But now I'm not like that. But back then, I really felt like I needed it. And it took me a long time to embrace my fair skin.
Well, it was €35. Do you remember?
I did. And I think we didn't eat a lot that night.
Yeah, and I yelled at you. We were in some little village, and it's the only beauty store is in this town, and people see us fighting. And they're probably like, oh, my God, those two redheads. But you ended up getting it. And then
ended up getting
I
it.
remember seeing it in the bathroom when we got back from the trip that like we had a few weeks before going to college and just thinking about this damn sunless tanner that Adrian had to buy.
I know. There's so many funny things. The things you do for beauty. It's so funny.
I know. But we weren't into like sulfate-free shampoos.
No, I don't think it was really like a trend.
I don't even know how we
either.
shaved our armpits. I think we had a razor.
No idea. I do remember you hand washing your clothes.
Yeah.
I don't know how I washed mine.
I know.
Oh, we have to be really careful because when Stephanie and I get together, we just start laughing
giggle
and then we
yeah.
giggle. Our grandma used to get mad at us because she said all we do is giggle.
I know.
But I am really pumped about our guest today, Alison Mcnamara. She is a TV host, digital influencer, and founder of the new clean skincare line, Mara, and she has hosted the Oscars for ABC. She's appeared on the Today Show. She's hosted her own show, Midnight Style, on the FYI network. She dyed her hair red, and she has amazing glowy skin. You have to find her on Instagram and just marvel at her skin because it's so beautiful. And we just have so many questions to ask her, like how she got such perfect skin and how she maintains her red hair. So let's call her up. No giggling allowed.
I know. The H2 Bar Box, a monthly beauty subscription box for redheads. Each box is worth $80 plus, and each product is Redhead friendly approved.
Head to h2barbox.com to subscribe and use code podcast to receive 20% off.
Hello, this is Allison.
Hi, Allison. This is Stephanie and Adrian Vendetti from How to Be a Redhead.
Hi.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm really excited.
Yeah, definitely. We've been following you for quite some time, so we're excited to have you on. So thank you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's
Stephanie today, this is Adrian, but we were having lunch and she was showing me your photos and she's like, look at her beautiful skin.
You do have really beautiful skin. It's so dewy.
Thank you. I mean, I have a product line, as you guys know, because I read through your questions. So I feel like having like good skin, like you have to have good skin when you have a product line. So I work really hard at it. It's like a full-time job.
Yeah.
That is so true. I do have to say, I've talked to estheticians before, and it throws you off when they don't have good skin because
Totally.
it represents who they are.
Yeah, when I launched my line, like I was so stressed out. I got like the first pimple I've had probably in years, and I like didn't leave the house the week that we launched because I'm like, I can't like launch this line and have this like zit on my face.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? That's a lot of pressure.
It is kind of, but I appreciate that you guys think I have good skin because that's important.
You do. So we'll start too with question number one, totally about your hair.
Yeah, so we love your hair. We think it's gorgeous. And we read on your website that you decided to go red 3 years ago and you haven't looked back. So we wanted to kind of kick it off with how do you maintain your color now? What made you kind of decide to go red a few years ago?
Totally. So I was actually born with like kind of like an orangey colored hair, but then that quickly dissipated by the time I was like 2 and I had just like mousy, light brown, dark blonde hair. So I definitely have like the ginger gene. My family's from Ireland. And so like being red always made sense, but I was blonde for years and years and years. But when I worked at Pop Sugar, we had gotten this television show and all of our hosts had the same color hair. So they were kind of like talking to us in a meeting before we went and started shooting the show. And they prompted us to see if anyone wanted to have, dye their hair or change it up so we looked a little different. And so I'd always been itching to go red. So I started going a little red. I was like an auburn color at the time for Pop Sugar Now. And then after the show ended, I was like, I just want to go for it. People my whole life have been telling me to like go for red hair. So I finally did it. And maintaining it's a pain in the butt. I'll be honest. I dye it every 6 weeks. I go to Cassandra Kading at Mare Salon in West Hollywood. She's awesome.
Wow.
And yeah, that's about it.
And do you get hair glosses? And do you use maybe color depositing shampoos or any kind of color safe to kind of prolong the color?
Yeah. So for my actual hair color, we use Redken Shades EQ. We use a combination of like gold and copper red. So there's actually very little red in the formula of my hair color. It's mainly copper and gold, which is what keeps it really vibrant and on the lighter side. Because I really didn't want to have a burgundy red. That was important to me. I wanted to keep in like that coppery, almost like orangey color, vibe.
Yeah.
So we do that, and we do base color, mid shaft, and ends. And then, I haven't found a ton of color depositing shampoos that match my color well, but right now I'm using Christoph Robin
Yeah.
His
copper
hair
mask,
mask.
and I like it.
It's amazing.
It's a good one, right?
Yeah, I love it. This is Stephanie. Adrian's actually jealous. She's never touched her hair.
Yeah, but I'm getting whites. So
You are getting a few whites. But
Yeah.
I have to get a hair gloss every 8 to 12 weeks because kind of going along with what you said about skin, when you have a skin company, you want to have good skin. A couple people over the last several weeks leading up to getting a hair gloss always tell me, oh, wait, so you have a company for redheads, but it doesn't look like you have red hair. So I have to get hair glosses to kind of up my red, and I love that hair mask in copper. I think it's helped me prolong and kind of made my hair look redder than what it is normally.
I actually remember Stephanie and I were being interviewed for the New York Times about 4 years ago, and that particular day that we had the interview, it wasn't for the photo shoot that day. It was just for something else, and we just had our hair back in like a ponytail just to do the interview, and the woman called us out, and she's like, you guys are the founders of How to Be a Redhead, and your hair isn't down and like wild and crazy. And it really stuck with me because now every time we go on an interview, it's probably like how you feel about your skin. We're like on it with our hair because we're like,
Totally.
it represents who you are in so many ways.
It's so crazy how it becomes such a part of, like your identity. And I think that's an interesting point about red hair, though, because now I can't imagine not having red hair. So I definitely do my best to like maintain it. I go every 6 weeks for the full thing. And then I go in usually in the middle for a gloss with her, just like a refresh. If I feel like if I've got an on camera thing or if I'm shooting like a video for Sephora, I always want to like make sure it looks nice. But yeah, the color depositing shampoos have been tough for me, but the Christoph Robin has definitely been my favorite so far.
And so getting it dyed as frequently as you do, have you noticed that your hair is a little drier than, like, how does the dye, how has your hair been to it?
Totally. So we don't bleach my hair, which I find quite interesting.
Oh,
A lot of
okay.
people,
Yeah.
you'd have to bleach the hair first, but my hair's really light. Like it's pretty like dark blonde still. Even though I'm like over 30, I feel like my hair has gotten darker. It's still light enough where we don't have to like lighten my base. So it's really not that damaging, honestly. It's kind of like if you were a brunette and getting a refresh
Okay.
for your brown hair. So it's really not that damaging. But that being said, I'm a chronically dry person, even down to like my humor, dry skin, dry hair, dry sense of humor. So like my hair is really, really dry just naturally. So I have to definitely do, like right before this, actually, I just use like a Kerastase hair mask. I'm always trying different hair masks. I need the moisture. So I do suffer from dry hair. I'm not sure if it's from the dye though, because it's always been dry.
And West Coast, the dry humidity probably.
Yeah, we
Maybe.
don't have, it's like the lack thereof humidity, actually.
Right.
It's like there's no humidity. So that's the problem.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I was going to say too, I know we kind of touched upon it, but I feel like what's really important about what you said in the beginning was that there's so many different shades of red, and I think that you did a really great job matching it with your skin. Your skin, you have you have a lot of warmth in your skin, whereas a lot of redheads have a lot of cool tones, and so I think it's really important to find the right shade. But talking about your skin and your dewy skin, what's your top tips for achieving that look, because it is hard to achieve that dewy look? J-Lo makes it look really important.
Yeah,
Or easy.
Easy.
She's amazing. I mean, she doesn't drink any alcohol, and she has like the best lifestyle ever and like personal
Is that
trainer. So like
it?
for
Yeah,
real
she doesn't
people,
drink. I know.
yeah, for the real people that like, enjoy ourselves a little more often than maybe J-Lo does, I feel like it's really important, one, to start from the inside out. So like you got to drink lots of water. I start every morning with a glass of room temperature water with lemon. It's full of antioxidants. It brightens the skin. It also is great for your gut health. And I feel like your gut health is if your gut isn't happy, then your skin's not going to be happy.
So true.
So yeah, that's like really important, taking probiotics, all that stuff. But then when it comes to like your skincare routine, I always subscribe to less is more. I think that we're in this day and age where people are using 10, 12 products. It's all about that Korean beauty, K-beauty layering, which, I had fun with that too when it first came out, and I love trying new products. But really, I think that you need to find products with high efficacy that really hydrate and nourish the skin. So that's actually why I made my product Mara. I launched with one SKU. It's called the Universal Face Oil. It's full of every vitamin A, B, C, D, E, and F. So we call it kind of like our alphabet serum. It also has 46 antioxidants, 92 nutrients, phytonutrients. And I just basically use that morning and night after washing my face. And if I'm feeling like, I listen to my skin. I think that like sometimes we get stuck in these routines where you just use these products, but I have so many products as a beauty influencer. I get sent everything, but like I definitely listen to my skin. So if I'm feeling really dry, maybe before the universal face oil, I'll add on like a hyaluronic acid serum. Or if I'm feeling like it's around that hormonal time of the month, I love to use clarifying masks or things that have like lots of glycolic acids in it, like Good Genes by Sunday Riley. I think it's all about listening to your skin. And then of course, like using makeup products that, emphasize a glow are important too.
Yeah. So talking about your skincare line with the one facial oil. So after you cleanse, do you apply that? And then is that your moisturizer too?
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's why
okay.
I created it. Like it's kind of like it can be like a lazy girl's product where it really has everything that you need to deliver healthy, hydrated, happy skin and keep your skin really happy and glowy. And it's also clinically tested for wrinkles and crow's feet. So it does have that anti-aging property to it. But sometimes in the morning, I usually cleanse my face and then I'll use a vitamin C serum. Even though our oil has a lot of vitamin C in it, I use a vitamin C serum by Drunk Elephant that I'm obsessed with.
They're amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like it just really wakes up the skin in the morning. It gives you that brightness that I'm looking for. And then I'll use the universal face oil as my moisturizer. That's it. And then sunscreen, of course, because we're fair. Everyone needs sunscreen, but especially people like us.
Yes. And I do see that you travel a ton. So personally, this is Adrienne. When I travel, I really feel like my skin is super dry, especially on an airplane. Do you do anything special?
A lot of people are really into this airplane skincare routine right now.
Yeah, they
Honestly,
are.
airplanes gross me the F out. Okay. So the last thing I want to do is open up my nice fancy beauty products while I'm in a plane with like 400 strangers. So I actually don't. I think it's really kind of gross. I don't know why. Like, because your whole area, they say like your tray tops and your hand rests. Like I usually wet wipe them down, but still like there's all that airborne nastiness. So I tend to not do anything while I'm on the plane. But that being said, I never travel with makeup on. I don't care
Likewise.
who I'm going to see.
Yeah.
Like no makeup. I do a really hydrating routine right before I leave my house. So I'm really glowy. I always have my hair back in like a silk scrunchie. So my skin's just like breathing. And then of course, the first thing I do when I get to my hotel room is wash my face. But no, I don't do any in-flight routines on my face. I'll put stuff on my hands because I feel like my hands get really dry. And sometimes I'll use like chapstick, of course. But face products, they're so expensive. I just don't want to expose them to that kind of
That's
torture.
such a good point. I never even thought about that, exposing it
I
to
know.
the airplane
I'm like the
air.
opposite of everyone else. I have absolutely no germaphobe at all. I could tell you stories, but you're probably gonna be
Really?
Yeah, I have like no germaphobe, nothing. I would put my head on the headrest.
You put it on the tray top.
I don't even
That's
care.
so gross.
I don't even care. But I don't know why I don't care, but I should. I should care. Now that I'm listening, I'm like, you're absolutely 100% correct. I should be.
I'm like a selective germaphobe though. I just get grossed out because they say that like airplanes are literally one of the dirtiest things. Like airplanes and those like the whole travel experience from the kiosks that people touch to being on the airplane, they just don't wipe them down. I'm not like a germaphobe. Like I'll eat something off the ground. I'm not crazy like that. But I do think that like especially when you're traveling more often, you're exposing yourself to things that you wouldn't necessarily expose yourself in your everyday life because it's people you're not around, it's things that you're not around. So I'm just more careful on airplanes. And as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little bit more freaked out. And also having the skincare line, we go through so many tests to make sure that our products don't grow bacteria and all that gross stuff. So it's made me more in tune with that,
I do have to agree. As you get older, you're like, wow, I can't believe I did that when I was younger. I'm doing that now. I'm just starting to organize my life in terms of like everything has a place. And I feel like it makes you happier. And so I've really been working on it.
You're doing a good job.
It's taken until I'm 31 now. And it's like to that point now where like all my skincare products are organized, whereas before I would just like throw them in there and like whatever. But now I'm like really organizing my life, and I think I'm gonna start understanding germs a little bit more. Like probably why I'm like when I'm 40, I'm gonna be like a germaphobe.
I know. I hope it doesn't like continue at this pace though, because it's gotten exponentially worse. I'm 31 too, and I feel like in my 20s I was like a monster.
Me
I was
too. I was too. Stephanie's like, you have the most random stuff in your car. Like anything you could imagine was in there. And now it's like I'm really starting to get clean and like vacuum. And I'm like, wow, I'm such an adult.
You're turning in,
So
yeah,
grown
you're
up.
mature. So we definitely want to talk about makeup because, of course, we stalked your Instagram page and we've been following you for quite some time. So we love all of your makeup looks. And one of the things that we were really drawn to in a lot of your photos was your lip choices and your lip colors. So we just wanted, and we feel like a lot of our followers, we get a lot of questions about what shades complement redheads. You know, some redheads are afraid of a red lip, and then nude lips are so big, especially in the fall and the winter. So we kind of wanted to touch upon what are some of your go-to lip products or shades.
This is fun because I've always been such a lipstick girl. Like
Us
before I
too.
had red hair, like it's just my thing. And I just, I tend to like do easier on the eyes. If I'm like doing something I feel really confident in, it's usually like a lip and a natural eye. So for lip colors, like when I dyed my hair red, everyone was always telling me like, oh, did you change your makeup, this, that? Like I really didn't. I still wear like bright red lips and, pink lips and everything. Like I wear it all. The one thing I do say that I like warmer lip colors on myself. So I tend to choose reds with like an orangier, more coral undertone than a blue undertone. And I just find that flatters my personal skin tone and hair color more. And I think it kind of goes in line with like whatever color your red hair is, right? If you're more of a coppery, then I think like playing off those copper tones is really, really nice. A few of my favorite products. Are you guys familiar with Kosas?
No, but we've heard of them. We've never tried their stuff.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's a clean beauty brand. I'm all about that non-toxic life, especially like with makeup, because I think it's really hard to find amazing brands that are non-toxic, and Kosas is one of them. They have literally every color is good. They only have like 8 shades. My favorite are Rosewater, Stardust, and Thrillist. And they're just all kind of like different variations of red. So Thrillist is like the most bold. Rosewater is like an everyday, and Stardust, I think it's called, is more of like an in-between.
Okay.
So they're all really, really nice. Ilia makes amazing lip colors.
We love them.
Yeah, we love them.
Yeah, they're amazing. I love there's this product called All of Me. It's a cheek and lip tint. And I find that it's just like the most flattering shade. I use it on my cheeks, on like my lips. Sometimes I use it even to contour. It's amazing.
I love a versatile makeup product because especially with traveling and stuff like that, it's so important. It's kind of like when Adrian and I first started How to Be a Redhead, we met this girl in New York City that got us into Lady Danger by MAC. I don't know if you're familiar with that shade, but it was kind of like the first shade that I wore, and it was definitely out of my comfort zone. And I dyed my hair blonde, platinum blonde, for like 8 years. And then when I met this redhead who was amazing and got us into Lady Danger, I never thought I could wear colors like that. And I feel like that was my beginning down the road, love for lipsticks. And now I really love Lady Danger. I know, Adrian, you like it too. But I think that it's like the one color. But we'll have to try.
That's for you.
Yeah.
What about fashion? Do you feel like you wear different colors now with your red hair, or do you just wear anything that you normally worn?
I have like a very eccentric personal style. I feel like I wear like crazy stuff, but yeah, it hasn't really changed. Honestly, the one thing I do notice is like I always wore a ton of black. Like that was my go-to when I was just like not into getting dressed. And while I still do that, I feel like it's not as flattering as it was before. So I found myself like with new purchases, like this sounds like so cliche, but reaching for more jewel tones. So I have a ton of sapphire colors and navies. I love an emerald moment. So I've been like really amping up the emerald sections. But like in Tulum, I was there last week and I wore an orange dress. When I got that dress, my sister got it for me in Denmark. She brought it back. I'm like, this is going to look terrible on me. Like with my orangish hair and this like orange dress, I'm going to look like a freak. But I wore it. I got so many compliments on it. It actually looked really cool. So I feel like, I honestly think with like makeup and fashion, if you don't feel confident in it, it's not going to look good on you. If you feel confident in it, it's going to look good on you. So it's all about having like, confidence in what you wear. And if you're going to do something, just like stick to it. And like, you can always take it off,
Yeah, and I know our mom always kind of points out that Adrian and I wear a lot of black and gray, and I think it's because, we're originally from New England and then we moved to New York City, so everyone wears dark colors.
It's just a thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
But now we're getting into more definitely like blues and purples and greens, colors
Yeah.
that obviously are flattering on redheads. But now I'm starting to what you just said, starting to notice that my purchases are a lot more brighter. Jewel tones, love jewel tones. So I think like right now I'm wearing a cobalt blue sweater. I probably a couple years
Fun.
ago would never wear that color. It would be black.
Yeah.
Totally. And like right now, I feel like fashion's having a really fun, colorful moment too. Like, I mean, it's been going on for a while, but the marigold color, that mustard, I thought was going to be like, yeah, like ketchup and mustard with my hair. But honestly, it is my favorite color to wear. I wore like an amazing yellow, like mustard yellow blazer yesterday. And I have like shoes and I'm just like so into that color. And I feel that it really flatters us. We're kind of lucky that it's so popular. And there are things that I'm definitely going to keep that color palette, like the jewel tone palette, for a while. And I also love the coppers. Have you guys worn copper before?
Oh my
Love
gosh,
copper.
I just started getting into copper, and I
the
just bought a
best.
copper sweater from Madewell, and I've already gotten a few compliments on it. And again, I probably would always just stick to black and then never really get compliments. So yeah, it's a color that definitely incorporating more into our closet.
Yeah, I wore this like coppery auburn, almost like autumnal orange in a way, like pumpkin
Oh,
orange.
pretty, yeah.
Yeah, it was a swimsuit. I wore it in Tulum, and honestly, I wore it also in Hawaii earlier this year. And that swimsuit, like, I hate being in a swimsuit just because, I'm a girl and I'm not necessarily confident when it comes to rocking a swimsuit these days. But that swimsuit makes me feel so confident because I get so many compliments on it.
Yeah. And I know we wanted to talk to you about foundation because I feel like a lot of people with great skin sometimes don't wear it, and concealer too. So what do you do with foundation and concealer? Do you wear them?
I don't really wear foundation, to be honest. I mean, if I'm doing like a really fun eye and I'm just going for it, then I feel like I will do a foundation just to have a more seamless base. But like as an everyday look, I usually just use RMS Uncover Up. It's the best concealer. I'm shade 00.
Their highlighter is amazing.
Yeah, Living Luminizer.
Oh my gosh.
They're awesome.
They
I just
really are.
love that brand. So I use Uncover Up a lot. I'm a concealer junkie, so I love playing with different concealers. I'm really into nude sticks right now. I love NARS Rich and Creamy or Radiant and Creamy concealer. That's a good one. I wear Chantilly, and Vapor is another good brand.
Yeah.
But I don't do foundation because I don't love all over. I have like I have freckles. I used to have more freckles. I don't know where they went, to be honest. But I do like having the few freckles that I have show through. And I just think that like skin shouldn't be completely even. Like I don't want to have like crazy red spots or like, blemishes. But I think that there's some like something nice when there's different tones of your skin that are coming through. So I just wear concealer.
I love concealer. I'm kind of a concealer junkie. Aiden, you don't really wear any.
I maybe wear concealer once or twice a year. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know, right?
I did put it on the other day because we did a podcast that's actually airing today, and he talks all about concealer, and I was like, oh, I should wear it more. So
yeah, you know what though? You could get away with like, I don't wear concealer when I wear luminizing primers. There are a lot of those out right now that I really love. Like Becca Cosmetics makes one called First Light Primer.
Love
and
that
I feel
one.
like, yeah, on our skin tones, when you're like fairer, I feel like we look really good with like this pearlescent and moon, like luminescence. And a lot of those all over face products come with that moon undertone, that pearly undertone. So I like wear that, and then I don't wear anything else. And usually it has SPF in it, which is even better.
Yeah, and don't you feel like oils, like really sometimes it just kind of...
They give you that glow.
It does. Like, you don't want to cover it up. Yeah.
We're huge oil lovers. Yeah, so we wanted to end, of course, just asking, what's the one makeup product you cannot live without?
Makeup product, it would definitely be concealer.
Okay, yeah.
I just feel like, because I can do so much with concealer, I put it underneath the eyes, but I also use it more as a highlighter too, because I use 00 and 000, which is ridiculous, but in RMS. And the 000 is so light that it almost acts as a highlighter. So I use it on the high points of my face to kind of give me definition without having to contour. So I feel like concealer you can get really creative with. I also use it on my eyes to add brightness to my eyes. So it's sometimes on the in corner, like the corner interiors of my eyes, or right in the center to open them up. I use like concealer along the brow just to like define the brow. So I just like love concealer. So I guess it'd have to be that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna get
to.
into it. And I do want to know too. Do you see yourself having red hair for a while?
People ask me this all the time.
They do.
I for sure see myself having red hair for like forever. I mean, the only thing I've ever really wanted to do since I've dyed red hair is I would love to be platinum blonde, but I know that like that's going to be so tough on my hair, especially since I've, have all this red that we'd have to strip out. And red hair's gotten me a lot of work since I left Pop Sugar. I mean, I got hired at Refinery 29, hopefully for my hosting skills, but also because I had like this bright red hair and the founder has bright red hair. So it was kind of like a fun connection that we had.
Yeah.
Her name's Christine Barbarick. She's amazing. And then after that, I was the beauty ambassador for Sally Beauty because of my red hair, and I was the L'Oreal hair ambassador. So I feel like, and now it's kind of synonymous with my line. I think a lot of people know me as like the redheaded like Mara founder. So no, I don't think so. I really enjoy being a redhead.
I love that. That's so wonderful. Well, it's so great to have you on, and hopefully we can talk soon.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. This was super fun.
Yeah. Thank you, Allison. The H2 Bar Box, a monthly beauty subscription box for redheads. Each box is worth $80 plus, and each product is redhead friendly approved.
Head to h2barbox.com to subscribe and use code podcast to receive 20% off.
I have to say, I love that she said red hair has opened up so many doors for her.
I really feel like after, we've been the co-founders of How to Be a Redhead now for almost 8 years, and I can't tell you how many times we've heard that, and I just feel like it's totally true. Like, I just think about all the interviews in my mind. Like, one interview we did on howtobearedhead.com was Beyonce's dancer. The girl, if you're ever looking at Beyonce, which I'm obsessed with watching Beyonce videos on Instagram, but the girl who's always to the right has red hair, and it's dyed red hair. And we did an interview with her in like 2013 or 2014, and we specifically wanted to talk about her red hair, and she was so passionate about it that she did the interview with us. And she said that Beyonce picked red hair because she wanted it to stand out, and since doors have opened for her as well. I mean, not only is she like Beyonce's right-hand girl, but she does all this other stuff now, and her hair has it's red now still. It's been over 5 years probably since we've done the interview, and I feel like it's opened doors for not only her but Allison and so many different people.
Yeah, I know. I'd have to say, looking back, I obviously wish I never dyed my hair, but I think that we stand out when you have red hair. So I loved when she said her past job at Pop Sugar, she realized that everyone that she was working with they all had the same color hair. So she wanted to stand out. And I love that. And I think if you do follow her on Instagram, red really suits her. To me, I would never know that she dyes her hair. She's an amazing colorist in West Hollywood. But I think it's kind of what we always say at How to Be a Redhead, where you're a redhead or you're a chosen redhead. And chosen redheads, they have that fiery personality. Maybe they weren't born with red hair, but like what Allison said, her family comes from Ireland. She has the skin tone that a lot of redheads have. There's obviously a lot of redheads. Yeah, and there's a lot of redheads too that are very tan. And we get a lot of those redheads that write in, whether they're from Mexico or Italy. So it's so great to see different skin types. But you would never know looking at Allison that she's not a natural redhead.
Right. Like when we did the interview with Lydia, my sister-in-law, and it really stuck with me too when she talked to us, and she just said, like, she looks like a natural redhead. People would never think that she's not a natural redhead, and I think that that's a case for a lot of people who they're like, I should have been a redhead, and the color just looks so great on them.
And they're wearing all the complementary colors, whether it's in their wardrobe or on their lips. So it's just really great. And all of her recommendations, my God, green beauty is obviously our thing. So it's so great to get some of her tips.
I know we like dedicated a whole episode to green beauty.
I know, we did.
And it's because it's so important for redheads. I mean, obviously, putting clean stuff on skin, no matter if you're a redhead or not, is so important. But for redheads specifically with sensitive skin, you're just going to hear it all the time of us talking about it because it's that important for redheads to understand ingredients in their food, in their skincare, and everything, because what you're putting on your skin is going to directly reflect how it looks.
Right. And we're going to be putting a link in the notes section for an article on all of Allison's product recommendations. So don't feel overwhelmed because we know she gave such great redhead friendly brands.
Yeah, I need to get
tips.
some Lysol wipes when I get on a plane.
And you need to start putting concealer on the inner corners of your eyes. It will open them up.
I know. See, everyone thinks because we're the co-founders of How to Be a Redhead that we just know everything. And it's so funny. Like we've said it from the beginning. Not only do our followers teach us so many things, but now with the podcast, all of our guests teach us stuff too. And I think that that's what's so great about our community is Stephanie and I are learning just like everyone else. And that's why it's How to Be a Redhead, because we're doing it all together.
Definitely.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Rock it like a redhead.